I died choking on my own vomit in a dingy motel room off I-80. The bottle of cheap bourbon I'd chugged to drown the betrayal still clutched in my hand like a lover's goodbye. The last thing I saw before the blackness swallowed me was my mother's text lighting up my phone. Step back from family. You're dead to us. But that wasn't the end, hell. It was just the ugly prelude. When I gasped awake in my old twin bed, the faded floral comforter from high school tangled around my legs. I knew I'd been given a do-over. A vicious second chance to claw back what those bloodsuckers stole from me. It was the morning of my 28th birthday, 3 months before the shitstorm that ended my first life. The alarm clock blinked 7 a.m. in that godforsaken Peoria, Illinois suburb, where the cornfields stretched like accusations under a flat gray sky. I bolted upright, heart hammering like I'd run a marathon in my sleep, and stared at my reflection in the vanity mirror across the room. Same hazel eyes. Same unruly auburn waves I'd always hated. Same faint scar on my chin from that childhood bike crash with my brother. But I wasn't that broken Eva anymore, the one who'd trusted her family until they gutted her like a fish on the dock. In my first go-round, I'd been the good daughter, the reliable one. Fresh out of community college with an associate's in accounting, I'd landed a gig at a mid-sized firm downtown, crunching numbers for schmucks who couldn't balance a checkbook. My parents, Tom and Linda Hargrove, ran Hargrove Hardware, a family store on Main Street that had been scraping by since Grandpa founded it post-World War II. My older brother, Derek, was the golden boy, charming, reckless, always one scheme away from jail. And my little sister, Mia, the baby of the family at 22, was the wild card, flitting through jobs like bad boyfriends. That birthday morning in round 2, I didn't call to wish myself happy returns like last time. Instead, I grabbed my phone and scrolled through the family group chat, the one that would later become my noose. The messages were banal, Mom nagging about inventory, Dad grumbling about slow sales, Derek posting a selfie from some bar crawl. Mia's latest, a string of heart emojis under a pic of her new engagement ring from that loser tattoo artist. No red flags yet. But I knew what was coming. I'd lived it. The betrayal didn't hit like a freight train. It crept in slow, like Midwest humidity,
until you were soaked and suffocating.
I slipped out of the house before Mom could corner me for her usual family breakfast guilt trip. The air smelled of frost-kissed grass and distant diesel from the highway. My beat-up Civic coughed to life in the driveway, and I peeled out toward the office, mind racing faster than the speedometer. In my first life, I'd ignored the whispers, the way Dad's ledger books never quite added up, how Derek's investments always needed a family bailout. I'd chalked it up to tough times, the recession's long shadow still hanging over Rust Belt towns like ours.
But now,
I had the receipts, burned into my brain from the coroner's inquest after my suicide. It started small.
6 weeks from now,
Derek would come to me, teary-eyed, with a sob story about a sure-thing real estate flip in Chicago. He'd need $50,000 seed money, collateral for a bank loan. As the responsible sibling, I'd co-sign without blinking. Hell, I'd even fronted $20,000 for my savings, scraped together from overtime and skipped vacations. Mia would chime in with her wide-eyed pleas, Mom with her Bible verses about family sticking together. Dad, he'd nod silently, his silence louder than any lie. The deal went south fast. Derek's partner vanished with the cash, leaving a trail of bad checks and foreclosed lots. The bank came calling, and that's when the real knife twisted. The loan docs had my name solo on them. forged signatures and all. 70 grand. Ballooning with interest. My credit tanked to sub-basement levels. I confronted them in the store's back office. The air thick with the scent of varnish and varnish lies. We had to protect the business, Mom said, her voice steady as steel. You're young.
Eva.
You'll bounce back. Derek smirked from the corner, nursing a hangover. Mia just cried. Useless as always. The group text came 3 days later, while I was holed up in my apartment, dodging repo men and collection calls. Step back from family, it read. From Mom's number. With everyone else chiming in thumbs-up emojis like it was a pizza order.
No explanation.
No olive branch. Just excision. Surgical and cold. I spiraled. Lost the job when my boss saw the liens hit my file. Friends ghosted when the drama leaked. The motel room was my rock bottom. The bourbon my exit ramp. Overdose ruled accidental. But we all knew better.
Now.
Back in the driver's seat of my own damn life. I wasn't spiraling. I was scheming. First stop, the bank. I pulled into the parking lot of First Central, the squat brick building that had haunted my nightmares, and marched inside like I owned the joint. Eva Hargrove, I told the teller, flashing my ID with a smile that didn't reach my eyes. I'd like to pull my credit report and open a monitored account. Something's fishy with my identity. She blinked. But hey, post-Equifax breach. Everyone was paranoid. Within an hour, I had printouts in hand. No anomalies yet. But I knew the forgery was coming. I snapped photos on my phone, emailed them to a secure folder I'd set up last night under a VPN. Next, the hardware store. I couldn't avoid it forever. I still clocked shifts there part-time, stocking shelves and running the register to help with cash flow. Mom was at the counter when I walked in, her peroxide bobdo looking crisp as ever, surrounded by bins of screws and seasonal wreaths.
Eva.
You're early. Birthday girl gets the day off. She leaned in for a hug, but I sidestepped, grabbing an apron from the hook. Got stuff to do after, I said, voice light, like I hadn't replayed her betrayal 1,000 times in the void. Heard Derek's got big plans.
Spill.
She waved it off, but I saw the flicker. Guilt? Calculation?
Oh.
You know your brother. Always dreaming. I nodded, biting my tongue until it bled. Dreaming. Yeah. Of Ponzi schemes and pyramid sales. Of using his little sister as a human shield. The shift dragged. Every hammer swing, and paint can lift a reminder of the empire they were propping up on my bones. Derek sauntered in around noon, reeking of axe and entitlement, clapping me on the back too hard. Hey,
Sis.
turning 28.
Huh?
We gotta celebrate. Mia's throwing a thing tonight. In round 1, I'd said yes. Drunk too much. Signed the papers blurry-eyed over cake and confetti. This time,
Can't.
headache. His brow furrowed. But he shrugged it off, vanishing into the office with Dad. I waited until the coast cleared, then slipped back there myself. The door ajar just enough for eavesdropping. Can't keep bleeding the store, Dad was saying, voice gravelly from years of camels. That supplier in Gary's onto us. If we don't pay up, Derek, cut in, smooth as oil. We flip this property.
Tom.
Clean slate. Eva's good for the cosign. She's got that steady job. My blood turned to ice water. So it started here, the seed of my ruin. I backed away, heart pounding, and clocked out early. Driving home, windows down to let the chill snap me sharp. I plotted my first move, documentation. Every text, every email, every whisper. I'd build the case like a fortress, brick by damning brick. That night, alone in my room with a laptop balanced on my knees.
I dove deep.
Social Security office first, pulled records. Noted the patterns in family finances that screamed fraud. Then, a burner email to a PI I'd remembered from a true crime podcast, ex-cop. Discreet. $500 retainer. Suspect identity theft by family, I typed, attaching the credit pulls. No details yet. Trust no one until the trap was sprung. Mia's call came at 9 p.m. Bubbly as champagne.
Eva.
Where are you? It's lame without you. I could hear the bass thumping in the background. Some dive bar on the edge of town. Told you. Headache, I lied. Scrolling her Instagram. Pics of her with Derek. Arms linked. Captions about family first. Irony. Thy name is Hargrove. Come on. Please? Derek's buying shots. Her voice cracked. The hook in the bait. I paused, fingers hovering over the keyboard. In my first life, that plea had been my undoing. This time, I let it dangle. Maybe next time.
Kiddo.
Love you. Love you more. She hung up, oblivious. I didn't sleep much after that. The ceiling fan whirring like a conspirator's whisper. Dawn broke with resolve stealing my spine.
Today,
I'd poke the bear just a little. The store was buzzing when I arrived. Holiday prep in full swing. Black Friday loomed, and Dad had us stringing lights like nooses. Mom pulled me aside in the lumber aisle, her eyes searching mine. Everything okay?
honey,
You seem distant. I met her gaze, forcing a laugh. Just birthday blues. Turning old. Lies layered like varnish. She squeezed my arm. We're proud of you,
Eva.
you're the rock.
Rock. Yeah.
The one they planned to shatter for cover. Lunch break. I cornered Derek in the break room. Microwaved burrito steaming between us. So, this Chicago deal. What's the angle? He grinned. That wolfish Hargrove smile. Real estate goldmine.
Sis.
Old warehouse district, turning it into lofts. Need a co-signer with clean credit. That's you. My stomach twisted, but I played along. Sounds risky. What's in it for the store? Everything. Bailout. Expansion. Trust me. His eyes gleamed, the same gleam I'd seen in the motel mirror before the pills. I nodded slow. Send me the prospectus. I'll look it over. His grin faltered. Prospectus? It's family. Eva. Handshake stuff. Not anymore, I said, voice even. Show me numbers. Or no dice. He stared, then chuckled. But it was forced. All right, Miss CPA. I'll email it. The attachment hit my inbox by shift's end, glossy PDF. Pie charts promising 300% returns. Bullshit. All of it. I'd seen the real docs in round one, riddled with fudged appraisals and ghost investors. But now I had it. Time-stamped. Admissible. Night fell heavy. The house quiet except for Dad's TV drone, some cop show. Irony thick as fog. I holed up in my room, forwarding the file to the PI with notes, fraud indicators, verify property records. Then, the big swing. I called the bank, posing as a concerned relative on a second-line app. Fishing for loan precedents under Hargrove names. Nothing yet, but the teller mentioned a flagged account for Derek. Bingo. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of that group text morphing into nooses. Faces of my family leering from the shadows. Woke to Mia pounding on my door.
Eva.
Breakfast. Downstairs. The table was set like a trap. Pancakes. Bacon. The works. Mom beamed. Family meeting.
Seek.
My gut clenched. Too soon for the pitch? No, Derek was there. Prospectus printout in hand. Dad nursing coffee like it was poison. We want to talk about the future, Mom started. Voice honeyed. The store's struggling. Derek's idea could save us. Here it came. I forked a pancake. Chewed slow.
Heard.
But why me? Derek's the visionary. Derek leaned in. Your credit's gold.
Eva.
Bank's leery of mine after that car loan hiccup. Hiccup. Try to fault. I feigned thought. What's the collateral? Store assets. Dad shifted. Personal guarantee. Yours. The room tilted. But I held steady. $70K? That's my whole life. It's an investment, Mom soothed. We'll pay it back tenfold. In round one.
Idekaba.
Signed amid tears and toasts. This time, I need time. And a lawyer review. Derek's jaw tightened. Lawyer? It's us. Eva. Exactly, I shot back. Blood's thicker. But ink lasts longer. Silence stretched. Taut as wire. Mom's eyes narrowed. First crack in the facade. Think about your sister. Mia needs stability. Mia, who'd been quiet,
Piped up.
please. Eva?
For me.
Knife twist. But I saw it now. She wasn't innocent. In the end, her thumbs up on that text had sealed it. Night, I said, pushing back my chair. Upstairs. I locked the door, breath ragged. The game was on. Weeks blurred into a tense tango. I stalled the cosign, citing paperwork delays, while the PI dug. His reports trickled in. The Chicago property? A shell, owned by a Derek Shell LLC, leans up to its eyeballs. Supplier in Gary? Shady outfit run by a cousin. Invoices inflated 200%. And the kicker, Dad's retirement fund, siphoned store profits into offshore accounts, flagged by IRS audits. I gathered it all in an encrypted drive, labeled Hargrove Heist, Nights. I'd pace my room, mapping the reveal. Confrontation? Too risky, they'd gaslight, isolate. Cops? Better. But timing was everything. The twist, I needed proof of the forgery intent, something tying them to identity theft pre-signature. Enter my controversial call, entrapment. I'd pose as the mark, record every pitch. Legal gray area. Sure, Illinois wiretap laws demanded all-party consent, but family discussions? Loophole city. I bought a nanny cam, tiny as a button, and sewed it into a store polo. Wore it like armor. First test, inventory night. The back room reeked of sawdust and secrets. Derek cornered me by the safe. What's the holdup? Eva? Banks pushing. I flipped on the cam's subtle. Heart thundering. Scared. What if it tanks? Won't, he lied smooth. Look, if you won't cosign, maybe we use your SSN for the app. Just to get approved. You can fix it later. There was on tape.
Crystal.
Forgery blueprint. I nodded numb, excusing myself to puke in the alley. Evidence gold. Mia sensed the shift next. She crashed my shift one afternoon, eyes red-rimmed. You're avoiding us. What's wrong? Nothing, I lied, restocking nails. Busy. It's Derek. Isn't it? The deal. She bit her lip. He's desperate.
Eva.
Dad's sick, real sick. Cancer whisper. Not full yell yet. Bomb drop. In round 1, I'd learned postmortem. Dad's prostate. Stage 3. Hidden to protect us. But protection?
Nah.
It was leverage. Why not tell me? Family burden. Her voice cracked. We need this flip. 4 treatments. Sympathy tugged. But memory overrode. That text, her emoji approval. I'll think. She hugged me fierce. You're the best sister. Best mark. More like. The PI's next drop sealed it. Wire transfers from store accounts to Derek's investor. A front for Mia's boyfriend's chop shop. Car theft ring. Feeding the cash flow. The hardware store? Laundering hub. Subtle, over-reported sales. Under-the-table parts flips. My resolve hardened to diamond. Plan. Leak to feds anonymously. But first, the personal gut punch. The group text loomed. 3 weeks out. I'd flipped the script. Controversy brewed when I dipped into ethic shadows. Hired a hacker buddy from online forums, $2K. Untraceable crypto, to breach family emails. What spilled?
Goldmine.
Mom's correspondence with a divorce attorney, Dad's illness a catalyst. Assets to shield. Derek's porn stash? Child's play. But Mia's folder, screenshots of my forged docs. Prepped months ago. Eva's backup, the file name read. Backup plan to bury me. Rage boiled. But I channeled it. Printed select pages. Anonymous package to the store mailbox. No note, just facts. Let paranoia fester.
It did.
Dinner that night was a minefield. Dad's face ashen. Not just from chemo secrets.
Eva.
We need to talk. About. I sipped water. Calm as a lake before storm.
The.
Discrepancies. Mom fidgeted. Someone's spying. Derek exploded. It's her. She's screwing us. Prove it. I said cool. Forking roast. Mia whimpered. But her eyes darted. Guilt cocktail.
Dead side heavy.
Family sticks.
Eva.
Sign. And we forget this. Sign what? The noose. I stood. Chair scraping. Or the loan that tanks me while you sail?
Gasps.
Mom's hand flew to chest. What are you? I know. I cut in. Voice steel. The forgeries. The laundering. The lies. Derek lunged. But Dad restrained.
Eva. Sit.
Let's fix. No fix for betrayal. I pulled my phone. Hit record. Back up to the cam. But I'll give you a choice. Confess? Or I walk to the DA tomorrow. Silence deafened.
Mia sobbed.
We did it for you. To keep the home. Home. I laughed bitter. You texted me dead. Blank stares. Then Mom. What text? The twist hit like lightning. In round 1, the text was the end. But here, they hadn't sent it yet. My knowledge, future bleed, cracked the facade. You'll see. I left them fractured. Drove to a coffee shop. Hands shaking on the wheel. PI called. Fed's interested. Meet tomorrow? Yes. Dawn of reckoning. The cafe on Elm Street hummed with normal suits. Moms. Oblivious. I slid into the booth opposite Frank.
The PI.
His trench coat screaming noir. Got your package, he grunted, sliding a thumb drive. Irrefutable. IRS. FBI, they'll eat it. And me, I whispered. Collateral?
Clean.
You're the whistleblower. Protection if needed. Relief washed. But hollow. Family wasn't blood. It was choice.
Mine? Severed.
Back home, the house loomed dark. Inside, voices murmured, war council. I packed a duffel, clothes,
Laptop.
the scar on my soul. Note on kitchen table, stepping back. For real. Don't follow. Sirens wailed distant as I hit the highway, east toward Chicago. No motel this time, just open road. Wind whipping lies away. Phone buzzed, group chat exploding. Mom, Eva, come back. Derek, threats veiled.
Mia, sorry.
I blocked them all. One tap each. Twist 2, a job offer email from a firm in the city. Entry level but legit. I'd applied blind last week. Round 2 savvy. Hours later, skyline glittered like absolution. Pulled over at a diner. Ordered pie, cherry. Tart as truth. Checked news app. Peoria hardware owner charged an embezzlement probe. They'd cracked. Confessed under pressure. Dad to treatment. Derek to cuffs. Mom to tears.
Mia, to therapy. Me?
To rebirth. But the real hook, in the glove box. A burner phone pinged. Unknown number. Eva, it's Mia. They forced me. I love you. Forgive.
Delete.
Some debts. You collect alone. I rev the engine. Horizon calling. Second life? Mine to own.
No.
That diner pie wasn't the end of the tangles. I'd tasted freedom.
Sure.
But grudges don't dissolve in diner coffee, they ferment. Sharp and sour. Chicago swallowed me whole that first night. A studio walk-up in Wicker Park with peeling wallpaper and a view of fire escapes like iron veins. Rent was a steal. Paid for my severance, I'd squirreled pre-betrayal in round 1.
But sleep?
That was a luxury for suckers. Nightmares looped, the group text morphing into handcuffs. Derek's sneer twisting into bars. Morning brought the new gig, junior accountant at Sterling & Koch, a boutique firm specializing in forensic audits. Irony? Delicious. My boss, Marlene, was a no-bullshit broad in her 50s. Pearls and power suits, who saw my eagerness and pegged me for the fraud squad. You got that look. Hargrove, she said over orientation coffee. Like you've been burned. Family recipe, I quipped, and she laughed. But her eyes lingered. Close call, too close. I buried deeper. Changed my last name on the lease to Evans, a nod to the grandma I'd never met. The one who bolted young from the Hargrove grind. First week blurred. Spreadsheets. Subpoenas. Coffee runs. But the ghosts followed. A Google alert I'd set pinged. Hargrove hardware seized in money laundering bust. Details trickled. $200K funneled through chop shops. Dad's signature on falsified taxes. Mom's emails plotting asset dumps. Derek faced 15 to life. Mia. Community service and probation. Her coerced defense buying leniency. Dad? Hospice now. The cancer galloping unchecked. Guilt gnawed. A rat in the walls. Had I pushed too hard? No, the texts, the forgeries, the exile plan. They built their cage. I just locked it. Then, the call came on day 8. From a blocked number. I let it ring twice before picking up. Voice recorder app live. Eva?
It's
Dad. The line crackled. His breath labored. Tom. I corrected flat. No, Daddy. Not anymore. Silence stretched, broken by a cough wet as regret. We fucked up. Bad.
cops.
Everything's out. Shocking. I deadpanned. What do you want? Forgiveness? Hell. I don't know.
Mia Searek.
Says you hate her.
Hate?
Too clean a word. She signed off on killing me off. Metaphor, he wheezed. Family pressure. Pressure builds character. Or breaks it. I hung up, but the rot spread. Work suffered, typos in ledgers. Stares from Marlene. Personal, she asked one lunch. Salads wilting between us. Ex-family, I admitted. Half-truth. She nodded. Shared her own scar. Brother in prison for fraud. Cut clean.
Kid.
Or it festers. Her words echoed as I hit the gym that night, pounding a bag until knuckles split. Cut clean? Easier preached than practiced. The controversial pivot hit Friday. A subpoena crossed my desk for a case mirroring mine, family biz laundering via loans. Victim? A sister. Co-signed into oblivion. I volunteered. Marlene's eyebrow arching. Sure you can handle? Personal interests. Dived in. Traced the threads to a network snaking through Illinois. Gary hubs to Chicago syndicates. And there, buried in shell core, a Hargrove LLC. Dormant but linked. Coincidence?
Bull.
Derek's web. Spun wider than I'd dreamed. The PI texted, threads to your folks. Want deeper?
Yes.
And eyes on Mia. Paranoia? Prudence. Weekend brought the storm. Rain lashed the city as I hunkered in my studio. Drive humming with files. Hacked traces showed Mia's laptop pinging my old IP. Tracking? Desperate sister or sly fox. I ghosted a new VPN. But unease coiled. Monday. Office buzzed. Feds raiding Sterling's client list. Marlene pulled me in. Your case, the laundering one. It's hot. Connected to Peoria. My blood iced.
How? Informative.
Solid. Her eyes bored. You know anything? Only that it's gum. Lie tasted like ash. She let it slide, but suspicion lingered. After hours, I tailed a lead, coffee meet with a source. Ex-job shop grunt turned snitch. Diner on the south side. Neon flickering, open 24/7 like a dare. He slid in opposite. Greasy ponytail and track marks. You the auditor? Eva. No last names. Word is.
Hargroves are the tip.
Derek's mouthy in lockup, names dropped. Like,
Your ma.
for one. Wired cash to the bosses. And the sister?
Mia.
She's the courier. Pretty face for the drops.
Mia.
My baby sis. Dolled up for dirty work. Rage surged. But I reined it. Proof. Got texts. Forwarded to your secure. He grinned yellow. That'll be another 5 bills.
Paid.
Bolted.
Outside.
Rain slicked the lot. Wipers slapping rhythm. Phone buzzed. Mia's number.
Eva. Please.
Meek me. I'm scared. Location pin. A park off lakeshore. Neutral ground. Trap? Temptation? I geared up, recorder. Pepper spray. Resolve like Kevlar. The bench dripped under sodium lamps. Wind off the lake whipping her hair as she approached, bundled in a parka too big. You came. Talk, I said, sitting distant.
Tires instants.
They're coming for me. Derek ratted to cut a deal, said I knew everything. Did you? She flinched.
Some.
The loans.
Yeah.
But the cars? I just drove. Lied to cops. Self-defense. Voice shrill. Family eats its young.
Eva.
You saw. I died for it. Words hung heavy. Why the text? What text? They stepped back. Your thumbs up. Confusion creased her face. Never sent. Mom did.
Solo.
Deleted ours after. Twist 3. Fracture deeper. Mom's solo purge. Erasing accomplices.
Prove.
She pulled her phone. Scrolled deleted there. The chain. Her reply missing. Forged? Or erased mercy. I want out, she whispered. Help me testify. Against them. Controversy roared. Ally or Judas? Blood called. But memory screamed. Why now? Because you're free. Teach me. I weighed it, her youth. The chemo shadow on Dad. One chance. Feds. Not me. Relief flooded her. Thank you, sis. Hug came tentative, but I stiffened. Trust? Earned. Not given. Back in the city grind.
Alliance bloomed fragile.
Mia crashed my couch 2 nights. Spilling guts, Mom's iron fist. Dad's denial. Derek's venom. He hated you most, she confessed over takeout.
Jealous. Steady job.
No drama. Pain lanced. But I swallowed. Passed. Work escalated. The case ballooned. Hargrove threads pulling syndicates like a riptide. Marlene cornered me post-raid. Feds want your input. Off record. Heart stuttered. Why me? Your files scream insider.
Pause.
Peoria ties? Busted. Ex-family. Betrayed. She exhaled.
Brave.
Or stupid. Meet the agent tomorrow? Nodded numb. Agent Reyes was sharp, Fed suit. Latina fire. Coffee black as suspicion. MS. Hargrove Evans? We know your history. The loan. The text. News to me, how? Public record? Informant. Eyes flicked. Your sister.
Mia.
Double cross? Or salvation? What now? Testify. Full immunity. Nail the network. Controversy peaked. Out them all. Or carve exceptions. Dad's Betterton face flashed. Mercy kill?
No.
Justice.
Raw.
I said. But Mia walks clean. Reyes smirked. Already does. Smart girl. Relief. Tainted. Back home.
Mia packt.
Thanks.
Eva.
New start, Seattle. Maybe. Go.
Door shut soft.
But locks clicked hard. Nights after. The city pulsed indifferent.
Gym.
Work. Wine. Routine armor. But dreams shifted. Not nooses. But scales. Balancing blood and bomb. Then. The call, Mom. From county jail.
Eva.
Your father. He's gone. Cancer won. Or lost. When? Last night. Peaceful. Sob choked. Funeral Friday.
Come?
Silence my answer. Hung up. Stared at skyline. Gone the architect. But echoes lingered. Funeral loomed. Small town spectacle. I drove back. Stealing for spectacle. Church pews packed with locals. Whispers like wasps. Casket closed. Dad's sins sealed shut.
Mom.
Orange jumpsuit, chic undercoat. Chained but chin high. Derek absent, solitary for snitching.
Mia.
No show. Fled west. I sat rear. Anonymous in black. Eulogy droned. Tom Hargrove. Pillar. Lies layered. Post-service. Coffee clatch in the hall. Mom approached. Guards distant. You came. Closure. Voice even. Forgive. Eyes pleaded. Steel cracked.
No.
Simple. But I'm done hating. She nodded.
Tears silent.
Good girl. Walked out into cornstubble fields. Wind whispering absolution. Chicago called life 2.0. Unscarred. But twist 4. Envelope in my mailbox days later. Postmarked Peoria. Inside. Dads will snip it. Notarized pre-bust. Bequest. $10,000. For the rock that held us. And a note. Sorry.
Kid.
Should have been prouder. Tears came hot. First real since rebirth. Burned it. Ashes to wind. Wealth?
Nah.
Closure? Pricey. But bought. Months rolled. Firm promoted me, lead auditor. Scars to stars. Dated a barista. Casual.
Nostrines.
Mia texted sporadically. Settled. Miss you. Replied sparse. Bridges half burned. One night. Alert pinged. Derek paroled early. Deal cut. Name dropped rivals. Fed said. Free, on paper. Unease prickled. Called Reyes. Watch him. Always.
Assurance ta.
Controversy final. Do I warn? Or let karma courier? Chose silence. Debts collect themselves. Dawn broke golden over the lake. Me running path. Breath sinking to pulse. Second chance? Not perfect.
But mine.
Betrayals echo faded. Replaced by stride strong. Karma's a slow mailman. But when he delivers, it's certified with receipts. Derek's parole hit the wires quiet. A footnote in the Trib's crime blotter. But it landed like a brick through my studio window, metaphorical.
Sure.
But the shatter echoed. I woke to it at 3 a.m. Sweat slick. The dream vivid, his face at the bars. Grinning through rust. Whispering, family forever. Cease. Work buffered. Marlene's caseload a bulwark. We cracked a Ponzi ring that month. $5 mill clawed back for widows and fools. You're shark. Evans, she toasted at the wrap party. Craft beers in a loop dive. Hargrove blood. Evans steel. I countered.
Clinking.
But the name drop stung. Ghosts don't stay buried. Mia checked in more. Texts evolving from safe to seeing someone? Therapy rocks. I replied measured. Thawing slow. Her last. Heard about Derek. Scared. Truth. Terrified. But admitting? Weakness. Reyes looped me in overburner coffee, neutral spot. Her Fed badge flashing subtle. Parole conditions tight, no contact. Monitoring. But he's slippery. Slippery runs afoul, I said, stirring sugar like spells. She nodded. Eyes sharp. You surface in his ramblings. The snitch sis. Watch your six.
6 it was.
Installed cams at doors. Varied routes home. Pepper spray keychained. City life amped to thriller. Every shadow a suspect. Every tale a tell. First sign dropped 2 weeks post-parole. Wrong number call. Heavy breather. Hang up. Coincidence? In Peoria. Maybe. Here?
Nah.
Then. Mail. Postcard from Gary Hardware. Blank, but postmarked home. Warning shot. Controversy brewed anew. Fight fire with fire. Or let feds fan.
Chose hybride, type Reyes Anonymous.
Then went rogue. Hired muscle. Off books. Ex-Marine from a vet bar. $300 per night for errands. Eyes only, I stipulated. He nodded. Buzz cut and bicep screaming don't mess. Named Jax.
Gruff.
But gold, tailed Derek's first weeks. Reported parole, meets clean. But whispers and dives. Oh, the bosses. Need a score. Score meant scam. My scam sense tingled. Another Eva setup brewing? Jax snapped pics. Derek with lowlifes. Familiar from the chop files. One face, Mia's ex. The tattoo hack. Out on bail. Dots connected ugly. Revenge relay. Derek. Burned. Pointing fingers at the real betrayer me. Mia's silence? Complicity. Or caught. Called her. Voice tight. You hear from him?
Pause long. Once.
Begged money. Said no. Truth.
Eva.
Hurt-laced. Trust issues much. Life lessons. Hung up. Doubt double-edged. Jax's next report iced it. Derek renting a beater van. Plates swapped. Stakeout gold. Circling my block. Slow rolls like sharks.
Panic?
No plot. Controversial escalation. Bait.
Likta windful via ekte parole chatter. Me.
Flush from a lawsuit win. Address pinned. Let him bite.
He did. Fast.
Night 3. Van idled curbside. Jax shadowed. Me inside with 911 queued.
Footsteps crunch, gravel door rattle.
Lockpick jingle. Heart jackhammered. But I yelled. Chicago PD. Hands up.
Bluff.
But bought seconds. Jax burst from alley. Tackled the shadow. Derek. Cursing blue. Sirens wailed real now. Blues cuffing him curbside. Eva he spat. Bloodied lip. You set me. Full circle. I said from doorway. Reyes en route. Welcome home. Charges stacked. Parole violation. Attempted B.N.E. Conspiracy whispers. Feds pounced. Flipping him again, this time on the syndicates. Deeper fish. Aftermath. Catharsis cocktail. Bittersweet. Marlene promoted me full forensic lead. Salary bump too livable. Dated the barista serious Tom. Gentle giant with a laugh like thunder. Your past, he asked one night. Tangled sheets. Baggage or backstory? Both, I admitted. But lighter now.
Mia visited.
Train ticket stubbed. Wicker Park Cafe. Awkward hugs. Saw the news. You okay? Steel. Smiled thin. You? Therapy. Job, barista. Irony. Laughed nervous. Forgive. Not yet.
Pause.
Soon. She nodded. Eyes wet. Fair. Mom's trial loomed. Plea deal pending. Letter smuggled. Proud.
Despite.
Live big. Burned it too. Closure's pyre. Twist 5. Inheritance pinged. Probate cleared. Store scraps, $50K after liens. Willed to the daughters. Mia split hers. I donated to fraud victims fund. Karma cycle. City softened edges. Runs by the lake turned meditative. Skyline a canvas of comebacks. But the hook lingered, that text. Archived in my mind. A scar itch. One dawn. Phone buzzed unknown. Eva Hargrove? IRS. Audit on Hargrove estate. Discrepancies. Discrepancies? Dad's offshore ghosts. Unearthed. Cooperating, I said. Voice steady. Agent's voice warmed.
Good.
Might need testimony. Always.
Clicked off.
Smiled Farrell. Second life? Endless sequels. Months layered like lake ice. Cracking under spring thaw. Trial wrapped. Mom to 5 years white collar. Community after. See you on the other side. Her last courtroom glance. I nodded neutral. Not nothing. Tom proposed casual. Ring from a jeweler's window. Simple gold. No diamonds for drama. Yes, I said. Lake breeze salty. Wedding small. Marlene maid of honor. Jack's best man.
Mia bridesmaid tentative.
Vows exchanged under willow. Words waited. In trust rebuilt. Kiss sealed. Crowd cheered. Honeymoon? Road trip. 80 ironic arc. West Rockies.
No motels.
Just stars and stories swapped. Your family? Tom asked campfire crackle. Exiled. Yours. Open book. Hand squeeze. Promise. Back. Bump. Positive test. 2 lines pink. Ours. Tom grinned. Me terrified, thrilled. Baby Hargrove Evans? Nah, new name. Clean slate. But fate's a prankster. Ultrasound week 12. Healthy. Girl.
Echoed Mia.
But mine to mold right. Derek's appeal denied.
Life sans parole.
Last letter. Hate me. Deserve it. Shredded. But read thrice. Controversy closed. The book. Ghosted memoir. Signed in blood. Anonym. E. Evans. Bestseller bump. Talks. Therapies.
Truths aired.
1 panel. Q&A sting. Regrets.
None.
Rebirth's the gift. Applause thundered. But inside, quiet win. Lake run. Belly rounding. I paused at water's edge. Text ghosted. Step forward. You're alive. Waves lapped agreement.
Done.
Rebirth isn't linear. It's a spiral. Tightening to core truths you dodge until you can't. Pregnancy amplified it. Hormones a megaphone to buried echoes. Morning sick with Mia's face. Afternoons craving mom's meatloaf. Nights jolting from Derek's gravel laugh in dreams. Tom held steady. Back rubs and bad jokes. But even he sensed the churn. Talk, he'd murmur. Hand on swell.
Processing. Iredja.
Truth unraveling. The IRS audit dragged summer into fall. Leaves turning traitor gold like the family's lies. Agent Hale was thorough. Gray suit. Sharper questions. Meetings in sterile conference rooms. My belly the odd elephant. These offshore transfers, he'd probe. Docs played. Your father's, but signatures.
Familiar?
I traced a line, mine. Forged pre-death. Exhibit A in Betrayal 101. He nodded. Pen scratching. Testimony could seal. For the unborn, leverage low. But landed. November. Post bump. Smart. Smirk. Justice waits for no one. It didn't. Derek's cellmate flipped mid-audit. Syndicate dominoes tumbling, bosses bagged. Trails to Hargrove hardware canonized in indictments. Mom's plea sweetened, time served plus restitution. Out by spring. Reformed. Mia news filtered. Engaged legit. Seattle stability. Auntie. Her text beamed. Ultrasound attached.
Boy.
Forgive timeline? Accelerating. I replied. First thaw smile. But the core twist uncoiled October. Harvest moon mocking. Anonymous package. No postmark. Insider drop. Inside. Ledger.
Herod.
Dad scrawl. Entries spanned decades. Eva College. Borrowed. Unpaid. Derek bail. Eva cover.
Mia tuition. Eva loan.
Wait loans? Not gifts.
Debts.
My help over years. Tallied like IOUs. Interest compounded emotional. Final page. Eva's due. $120,000. Forgive all. Love.
T. Bum.
Not betrayal pure, indebtedness twisted. They'd use me as bank. Then scapegoat when vaults emptied. Rage? Yes. Pity?
More.
Tom read over shoulder. Jaw tight. Confront.
No.
Close. Burned pages in sync. Flame dance cathartic. Ashes swirled drain.
Gone.
Birth came fierce. Hospital hum a far cry from motel despair. Lily Evans. 7 pounds even. Whale warrior strong. Tom teared. I held her fierce, mine. Untainted. Visitors trickled. Marlene with balloons. Jax with teddy bear absurd.
Mia.
Flight delayed. But FaceTime glow. She's you.
Eva.
Fierce. Us. I corrected. Bridge mending. Mom's release pinged winter. Halfway house. Monitored. Letter followed. Supervised. Grandbaby? Photos. Enclosed check. $5,000 from Tom's piece. Cashed it. Fund for Lily's future. No reply, actions over words. Controversy crescendo. The reunion. Spring bloomed. Lily colic fussy. When Mia called, Mom's out. Wants family. Neutral? Debate internal ward, protect the new, or purge the old. Chose hybrid. Park picnic. Public. Jack's shadow. Bench by pond. Ducks quacking judgment. Mom arrived frail. Parole pallor. But eyes lit at Lily and carrier. Grandma, she breathed. Hands hovering. Supervised, I said. Voice neutral.
Mia flanked.
Tense translator. We talked circles. Apologies looped. Excuses deflected. We thought we protected, Mom said. Tears tracking. Wrong. Dead wrong, I echoed. But here. Lily cooed. Tiny fist waving, icebreaker unwitting. Mom held her brief. Wonder wide. Like you.
Eva.
Rock. Steal now.
Échec tentative.
But held. Derek? Rotting. Appeals dust. Last whisper via Mia, says sorry. In his way. Way too late. Filed under forgiven. Forgotten. Book tour wrapped. Sequel whispers, reborn bonds. Declined. Life over lines now. Years skipped like stones. Lily toddling. Tom's promotion. My firm partnership. Hargrove faded footnote. Store raised. Lot condos. Mom visited quarterly. Supervised to free. Baking cookies Lily dubbed Granny Crack. Mia's boy. Cousin Chaos at holidays. Neutral turf. Chicago Central. One Thanksgiving. Table groaning turkey and truths. Lily piped. Tell the story.
Mama.
The bad family one. Tom choked laugh.
Mia frase.
I paused fork midair. Once. Family meant chains.
Now, choice.
Eyes round. You broke free? Reborn. Kissed her curls. Like magic. Night after. Tom pulled me porch. Stars pricking. Happy. Whole. Arms linked. Future vast. But the final hook. Subtle as dawn. That group text. Saved in cloud. Deleted never. Opened rare. Reminder raw. Step back.
Nah.
Stepped up. Scars to strength. Twist end. No by tragic fall. No villain win. Happy? Earned.
Edged.
American dream. Dented but driven. Betrayals forge. Rebirth spire. Fade to lake run. Lily giggling chase. Wind whispering. Alive. Yours.